Hello, hello. My name is Gina Dallison, and I am on day 36 of my HTMA mineral balancing protocol experiment. This is a 90-day experiment to see if balancing my minerals can actually help me with the symptoms that I'm currently experiencing from multiple sclerosis. And the HTMA, for those of you who don't know, stands for hair tissue mineral analysis. So basically, I've had a sample of my hair analysed to see what is going on with regarding to minerals. And what it has shown is that I've got a very high arsenic level in my body and have had for a while. And it is also showing that the usual markers for that would show for people with MS, I'm showing the opposite. So it is suggesting possibly that it is a false MS. It's a false reading. It's a false diagnosis. I'm not holding on too much hope that that is the case, but I weighed up the amount of cost and effort versus the amount of potential gain and thought, is this worth giving it a shot? And I considered that it was. It's a 90-day experiment where I am eliminating certain things out of my diet. So it does make the diet quite restrictive. I've had lots of experiments with diets in the past. The restrictive diets don't phase me too much, but that's not to say that it's not a challenge. And it's not to say that I've been 100% all of the time, because I haven't. Part of the protocol as well, the major part of the protocol is also having, I've got one here now, they're all over there, but having little pill pots filled with pills. So this is my one for today. So they're all gone, but usually I have 8 in each section. So I'm having 24 pills every day that I need to take. Well, they're not pills, they're supplements. And this is all part of the mineral balancing protocol. So we are now a third of the way through. I jumped on to tell you 4 weeks ago to tell you why I was doing it. Then a week later, I tapped in and told you how I was getting on. And now 3 weeks later, I'm doing the same. So I'm just going to give you a bit of an update. If you're interested in knowing more details, then you can come and join me on Facebook. I've got a Facebook group called the Healing Vibrations Network, where I'm literally going live every day, most days, talking about what I'm doing, and also sharing a very helpful grounding exercise that I literally do every day that helps me stay connected and keeps my vibrations high. And I'm also sharing a daily blog in the Facebook group. I'm also sharing that blog on medium.com as well, and over on LinkedIn. So if you're interested in this journey, or if you're thinking of considering something similar, or you're just interested in what HTMA could do for you, then do get in touch and I can sort of point you in the right direction. I am not an expert on this at all, but I am learning, and I am willing to do my best to give it a shot and to see what happens. So I'm committed certainly to this protocol. I'm committed. So all the places that I'm sharing it creates my accountability. I'm committed to seeing it through to the end. I'm going to share with you what works, what doesn't seem to work, with the challenges, the frustrations, the nothings, and in the hope that, well, it definitely is helping me make sense of it. But if I can help anybody else as well, then that would be worth it. So let me share with you the key wins. And I've got a few notes here just to pull out. What I am really celebrating is the consistency and the rituals that I've created around it. And I've created quite a few. So, like I said, I've got my daily supplements. I did create, because I was really struggling taking supplements. There was part of me that just didn't, I don't like taking tablets, whether they're pharmaceuticals or natural supplements. It still feels like a not a fun thing to do. So I wanted to get myself in better alignment with what I was doing. So I created myself a little ritual. I sat down and got grounded and just told my body what I wanted these tablets to do. Take what you need and eliminate what you don't. And while I'm not doing that with the same amount of presence, I don't think, as I did to start with, I'm I feel more in alignment with doing it. And I always say to myself, this is for you, body, take what you need. This is, eliminate what you don't. And this is a messenger, this is a healing messenger just for you. I've also been, the blogging every day has been really helpful for me. So the way that I've been doing it, I've been voice recording into my phone and then putting it through Chat GPT I've created a Chat GPT assistant that I've trained to get it to pull out exactly what I want it to pull out. So every day I tell you what I've been eating, what my wins are, because one of the things that I think is really important, whether you're doing HTMA or whether you are on any sort of healing journey, is keeping your vibration set point as high as possible. And one of the best ways I've found of doing that is literally celebrating your wins, pulling out the little pockets of joy that you've had in your day, what has gone well. And that is one of the key things that I do every day in my blog. So I always put in there what fun things, what things made me laugh, what things brought me love, what things that I was celebrating, anything that's going to make me that's going to put a smile on my face. And I also share my challenges. What have I struggled with today? What has gone wrong? For example, one day I got out of bed needing to go to the toilet and I couldn't bend my legs and I couldn't stand up. And I was desperate for a wee and I didn't want to wet the bed. And I was literally had to crawl to the toilet, which nobody wants to crawl to the toilet with pee dripping down their leg. It's not your finest hour, is it? But because of the work that I've done with my mindset and how I feel, I was able to reframe it straight away and take a real positive from it. That actually I've resourceful and resilient and I've got to the toilet and I didn't have a massive accident. And actually it's okay. I made it. And thank God I've got grab rails in the toilet. And thank God my toilet is not very far from my bed. So I didn't have to crawl very far. So there's so much to be thankful for, even in the moments where you're feeling, ugh. So that was a celebration. One of the things that I've been recording as well is my poop chart. So how I've been pooping. And I think it's because constipation is one of the ongoing sort of battles. I wouldn't say I was massively constipated, but neither am I eliminating every day. And I'm still not eliminating every day, but I think it's more regular than it was. So again, looking out for all the little wins, any tiny little increments that are moving in the right direction, because this healing journey, as I'm discovering, isn't, yay, look, I've made it 30 days in and everything's sorted and I feel amazing. It is little tiny steps and it's also not linear. This is one of my hashtags, healing not linear, because it isn't. It is like taking 4 steps forward and 3 steps back. 4 steps forward, 2 steps back. 3 steps forward, 1 step back. That's the way it is. So any step forward, celebrate the hell out of it because it is because it makes you feel better. What is the opposite of that is just seeing everything as a negative and everything going downhill. What if everything that was happening to us is happening for us? And that is a belief that I've really grabbed hold of and I've made my own. Life is happening for me. Even the most challenging, when I have to crawl to the toilet with piss running down my legs, it's happening for me. I'm getting something out of this. And that is shifting my attitude massively. I've been on this journey for about 8 years now, so I've had a lot of practice changing my attitude, but this is up leveling it another piece really. And I think blogging every day and being committed to doing that is really, really helping. Journaling every day to that level has been really helpful. What else am I celebrating? Whenever, I don't know if any of you have ever taken part in any sort of diet or any experiment with regarding to your nutrition, if you change the way you eat and stop eating the things that you used to eat all the time, you have to be a little bit more creative in the kitchen. And this is what I'm celebrating as well. I've been eating amazing food. There's not been many dishes that I've created for myself that haven't been top notch. I did a steak the other day, which wasn't the best, but other than that, I'm really, really pleased with what I'm creating in the kitchen. Fruity, I'm adding fruit to things, which is really cool. I'm it's everything looks vibrant and amazing and tastes really good. And because I know it's fully aligned with me, it just makes it even better. It really does. So I'm really celebrating that as well. And the other thing that I'm celebrating is that I haven't had any cannabis since I've started this protocol. Don't get me wrong, there's been a couple of days when I really wanted to have one of my little brownies that I've got in the freezer, but I didn't. Not because cannabis isn't on my protocol, because that's not actually off it, but what I've got it mixed up with is. So the brownie cacao's not in my protocol, and I've also got it mixed up in coconut oil, which is also not in my protocol. So some of the things that are off my protocol are, yeah, not your usual unhealthy things, but it's about balancing your minerals rather than your health, I guess. Mm. So although there's been a couple of days where I really was feeling quite low and wanted one, I didn't, and I worked my way through it, and I followed my own practices and got through it. So I'm celebrating that as well. So that's for celebrations. I might find some more as I carry on talking, but they're the main things. What has been the challenges? Well, the main challenge is physically, I'm not noticing any real improvement. So my legs are feeling as heavy. I don't know. They were feeling a bit worse probably about a week ago. And I was told that you're likely to get worse before you get better. So that sort of was a win, but it's still not really what I want to see. And but now I think I've plateaued out a bit. My legs don't feel heavier, but they don't necessarily feel any lighter either. And also my bladder, which is the other thing, I can't tell you the amount of pads that I've gone through. And my ability to hold it is when I need to go, even even 2 steps is 2 steps too far. So it really is quite yeah, the bladder's a bit of an issue. But I'm learning to go to the toilets earlier, basically recognize the need a little bit earlier, but there's a lot of toilet going. I've also got another appointment with my bladder nurse in a couple of weeks. So one of the exercises I need to do for her is to do a measure in, measure out. And I've sort of put that off a little bit. In fact, I don't know where my chart is. Hmm. Hmm. Never mind. I will find the chart and do that do that exercise. It is a bit of a painful one, but it's very eye-opening of what actually is going in and coming back out again. So that's one of my challenges is not seeing any amazing progress. The other one is the mental challenges of self-doubt, doubt, impatience. This isn't working for me. That seems to have gone. The last week, my energy has shifted. Now, I've been doing a lot of things. Obviously, I've been doing this protocol. I've also been working with a gorgeous lady called Isabel with some magnets. I should have, yeah, sorry, with some magnets that biomagnetism it's called, and she's given me some places to place the magnets to relax me, but also to get rid of doubt. So that could have well have helped. And I've also been working with Carolyn, who has been working with my body using muscle testing and acupressure to allow my body to bring in more nutrients from the food that I'm eating to absorb better. So I'm doing several things. So whether it's one of them, all of them, none of them, and something else, just with the journaling and just with the change in the planetary stuff, I don't know. But I'm celebrating the fact that I am feeling better and feeling less doubtful. That is definitely a win. But it has been a challenge as well. And the other thing that is always a challenge is eating a restrictive diet when you want to be sociable. So when I'm cooking for myself, it is easy. I create amazing things and it tastes fabulous. But it always means I need to cook for myself. Well, actually, that's not quite true because I have got a boyfriend who will experiment and cook for me as well. So I'm very grateful for him. That's another celebration. But I do like to go out for food and I still like my coffee and cake. Well, I haven't had any coffee yet this since the protocol, but I have had some cake. We went out for dinner with friends one time and had a very aligned meal with no gluten, no dairy. But then they offered us they gave us a free dessert that was dairy free and gluten free. And I wasn't going to let that one go. It was gorgeous. And then I discovered that actually I'd misread my HTMA report and gluten actually wasn't off. So that was like a bit of an eye opener. Oh, okay, I've been making my diet even more restrictive than it needs to be. But I've been sort of off gluten anyway. But today I had a couple of bits of bread with my brunch just because I fancied them. And I had a couple of bits of banana bread as well that my one of my family members had made, and it was really delicious. So I have had a few bits of cake just over this weekend, but I'm going into holiday mode. So on Tuesday, today is Sunday the 17th of August, and on Tuesday we're going camping. So I'm going to go off piste a little bit, and I'm giving myself permission to do that and relax and enjoy just having fun and somebody else cooking for me because my friend Sue's coming and she does most of the cooking, and having a few takeaways and just allowing myself a bit of space just to enjoy. So with that in mind, and we had family up this weekend as well, We had a takeaway on Saturday night, Friday night, one of the nights, and had a Chinese. So I've gone off piste a little bit, but I'm still I'm still there most of the time, and I'm celebrating that it's okay. We haven't got to have it every single day is perfect. We don't have to be perfect. It is about giving myself a break. And I did realize that I was beating myself up quite a lot for not being perfect. And having the accountability in place again is really helpful because just allows me to talk about and to reflect and to to get aligned with my decisions myself. Whatever my decisions are, I'm 100% comfortable with them and I make them with full alignment, and that's okay. Is that perfectly true? I'm still working on it, if I'm honest. I'd love it to be, yeah, straight on, but there's something about the social element of eating together that I really enjoy and do eat quite a lot as well. I'm quite a small person, but I do eat quite a lot once I get going. Yeah, it's just how it is. And I'm acceptance. That's the other thing that I've been practicing acceptance that it's just the how it is. Today I had 2 bits of bread with my brunch. I didn't have to have them. Oh, and butter. I didn't have to have them, but I had them because I wanted them and I enjoyed them. They tasted really good. Reminded me of childhood having bread and butter with our brunches. That's what we used to do. So maybe that's why there was a little bit of going back home with family and just wanting that bit of nurturing. So I will take that and accept that's what I did and it's okay. Another challenge that I've really had the last few weeks is my dog Sophie. So my dog has developed, she's 10 years old, just about, she'll be 10 next week. And she's developed quite a severe limp in her back leg. And I made the mistake of taking her to the vet. And I wish I hadn't, because the vet's put the fear of God in me and basically thinks, and I haven't gone down the diagnostic route because I haven't got the financial space to spend £350 on an X-ray. And yeah, I'm just not spending that money. So, but the vets come back to me, and even though they've not done a diagnostic, she goes, in her experience, what she usually finds is that this is a bone cancer, in which case we should be putting the dog down because she'll be in a lot of pain. But I look at my dog and I'm not looking at an end of life dog. I'm not looking at her. She doesn't seem that her quality of life is diminished at all. She's still loving life as much as ever. She doesn't walk as far, but she hasn't done that for a while. And actually, since I made the decision we're just going to ride with it and see how it pans out, I feel lighter and she seems better. So that's been a real challenge over the last week or so when I'm being pushed to make a decision. And also, we've got a holiday looming and I've got a friend looking after her. So there was a lot of things going on, but I feel at peace with that now. I feel happy with the decision that I've made for the time being. And she seems happy as well. So that's good. So, yeah, so they've been my challenges. So, overall, it's good. Overall, I'm a third of the way through. It feels like I've plateaued with regarding my symptoms getting worse. Energetically and emotionally, I feel if I was here before, I feel up here now. So that's a big, big celebration. I am, yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here and determined to see this through to the end, whatever the result is, and also use this as really fine tuning my ability to see the positive in everything and to see everything that I'm experiencing as as as, as an expression of joy or as a lesson that I'm going to enjoy learning. So the Blignite acronym that I use when I am talking every day is, I'll share it with you now briefly. I think I've shared it before, but I'll share it with you again. So B is for breath. You just simply bring some consciousness to your breath. I use a three-pronged approach to allowing your central nervous system to feel safe. So the first is to take a deep breath, but make the outward breath longer than the inward breath. The second part is to put a smile on your face, because if you're smiling, your body thinks that it's safe. You're not going to smile at danger or a threat. And the third thing is to simply say, I am safe. That's your breath. L is for laughter. And I've practiced a bit of laughter yoga. I'm not a laughter yoga sort of facilitator, but I have had work with some facilitators and I've seen the benefits of laughter yoga. And the idea of that is just laughing, not because something particularly is funny, just because it makes you feel good. And what happens when you laugh, it's contagious. So if you, especially if you do it with other people, laughter yoga groups are great because they laugh at each other and then you end up laughing. What turns out to be a fake laugh becomes a real laugh. And you can also feel your stomach sort of massaging your organs in your body. So it's like an internal massage when you laugh. I is for intention. So every day when I'm going through, I set an intention for the next day or for the next 24 hours. You can set an intention for little sections of time, but because I'm doing a daily reflection, then I tend to set it for every day. And a lot of my intentions are simply around acceptance, breathing, connecting, smiling, finding those joyful moments. And the more we can intend, and what is an intention? An intention is what we want to happen. And don't be afraid to call that in. Don't be afraid to call in what we want. It doesn't always happen exactly as maybe we think it should, but the more we practice calling it in, the more we're just brave enough to actually ask, what is it we want? So my intention for my holiday, for example, what do I want to bring for my holiday? I want some lovely sunshine. I want to get in the water. I want to swim. I I want to have great connections with my kids and my friends, and I want to have a good time. I want to make some memories. Bringing all that in, absolutely. So I is for intention, G is for gratitude. Gratitude is so important for lifting your vibrations. And every day, if you end the day, just go through, what are you grateful for from today? What did today bring you that made you smile? What are you grateful for? And N is for nature, because that's a reminder every day that the beauty of nature. And at the moment, we've had such an amazing summer here in the UK, and it's just, yeah, it's just beautiful. I sit in the garden, I watch my guinea pigs play, I take Sophie out, I look at the birds and the trees, and it's just a reminder to connect with nature. And if you haven't done much nature-ish today, you've not been in nature at all today, then set an intention the next day to do that a little bit more. Even if you just go outside, stick your head outside the front door and just look around and see what's going on out in nature. Now, and I look at the moon as well. The moon's another one I really enjoy. So N is for nature, I is for what you ingest. And obviously there's a big part of this that I'm really documenting everything that I'm ingesting. So I talk about what went into my body, the good, the not so good. And again, it just brings awareness to it. This isn't about beating yourself up for not getting it 100% right. It's just noticing where you are. And that's okay. If you ate a tin of chocolate today, just notice I ate a tin of chocolate today. I did. Is it something I want to be eating every day? Maybe not. Maybe it is. It's up to you. This is your life. You can do with it what you want. Don't feel bad for doing things that you've done. Just accept that you've done them. And if it's not in alignment, if you're not feeling good about it in some way, because you're not in alignment, so you're eating something so it's a bit like me eating the cake. It's not really in alignment with where I want to be going because it's not part of the protocol. But somebody made it. It was bloody nice. And it was part of our social ritual thing, really. I didn't have to have one. Nobody would have been that bothered if I didn't, but I really enjoyed it. So I shifted that alignment. It's not 100%, but it's better than what it could be. So just think about what you're eating and how that makes you feel. And if it doesn't make you feel great, what is it that doesn't make you feel great? This is just an awareness exercise that allows you to get clear because if everything we ate we're totally in alignment with, it will be 100% great for our body. But there's always, it's not always, but there's often a little negative chatter going, yeah, we shouldn't really be eating these chips and we shouldn't really be eating this chocolate. It's not really good for me. It's not really what I want. It's not going to help me lose weight, or it's not going to help me be healthy. So if we can notice that little negative, then we can bring it to the surface and let it go. So we can eat more in alignment with whatever we're eating. So I is for ingest. T is for what we tell ourselves, which leads us very nicely into that. So what are you telling yourself about life? What is about what you're eating, about how you're treating yourself? What is your internal dialogue like? And this, I think, for me, especially, I mean, I've been cleaning it up over the years anyway, but this last few weeks, it's really cleaned up a little bit more. I think that's been my biggest win out of everything, is what I'm telling myself. And E is the result of it all. E is just to enjoy, a reminder to enjoy whatever you are doing. And the more I'm doing this stuff, the more I am enjoying my life. And that is a win. So here I am, a third of the way through. I will, not sure when I'll come back on and give you another update, but thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, just comment or reach out to me. Come and join the Facebook group, the Healing Vibrations Network, if you want to see more regularly what is going on. In the meantime, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of August.